Smart Alex Show, baby!
Today on the Smart Alec Show, we got another special guest joining us tonight. I played soccer alongside this dude and seen him score bangers into the back of the net, running back in celebration, just letting his hair flow with it in the wind. I've chipped balls over defenders and seen this man punish keepers one-on-one. This dude managed to graduate with a bachelor's in sports management when you're what, 19?
19, yeah.
Something like that. With the hair, I thought he was a little bit older, but he was actually 19, and now he works for Austin FC and is getting his master's in sports management. Javi, what's up, my guy?
Hi. Yeah, thanks for inviting me to the podcast. Happy to talk. But yeah, I came to UT in around 2017 to do my bachelor's in sport management, like you mentioned. Through my second year there, I got an internship with Austin FC. That's the year that they got, that they were gonna move over here from Columbus, but it didn't end up working out. So it was just an expansion team here in Austin. I've been an intern with them I was an intern since fall of 2018, and then the team got announced January of 2019. So January 15th was the day it got announced, Austin FC Day, right? Once I got announced, there was just more events. I was working with them for, a year and a half almost. Then I graduated, and then, one thing led to another, and then they hired me full time.
Hell yeah. So at first, bro, you said that there were from Columbus, right? This is before they had even announced that the Austin was going to be one of the cities for the MLS expansion.
Yeah, so the first thing was, there was talk about the actual team Columbus moving to Austin, right?
Okay.
But then something happened and Columbus stayed there. Someone bought Columbus stayed there. But the owner still wanted a team down here, and for some reason it worked out, right? So Austin FC is now the new expansion team.
Hell yeah, bro. Damn. So stuff happened quick for you, huh? From interning with them to saying oh shit, this might be an opportunity for full time. Wait, so tell me this, bro. How did you graduate with your bachelor's in 2 years, bro? Because when I remember thinking and I get this a lot too, bro. Now that I've grown my hair out longer, people always think I'm older than what I am. So I thought you were older, way. I would be out there at the IM fields and you're like, yeah, I'm about to graduate. I was like, oh, okay, bet, I was 22, 23, some shit. And then you're like, nah, I'm 19. How did you graduate so early, bro?
Yeah, I know. I get that a lot. When I first got hired, I was still 20, right? Full time with Austin FC, I was still 20. And then I remember some people like, oh, okay, it was around 5. And they told me, okay, you could end your day early. It was a Friday at 5. You could end your day early, enjoy a beer or something. I was like, oh, I'm not 21 yet, right?
Can't even have a beer yet.
but yeah, so it kind of started in high school. So I'm from South Texas. This school district is called PSJ, Far San Juan Alamo. Those are the cities. And they have a really cool college program, I guess. They offered college classes while doing, your high school stuff. And, slowly you take a few classes every semester. And it basically got me the basics. So, the Englishes, the science, the math, all that. So once I came to UT, it was just basically the major classes, right? If I study sport management, it's just the sport management classes.
You went straight into upper level, bro. Knocked out all the basics.
Yeah, so I was a sophomore. I was technically a sophomore my first semester, and then starting my second one, I was already upper division.
Nice. So that's a way to save a lot of money and a lot of time, bro.
Yeah, it worked out.
Hell yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, because I'm 22 now, bro. I'm about to get my bachelor's, so I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped. But yes, you started real early, man. You kind of had a leg up to kind of see what you wanted to do. How'd you know you wanted to do sport management, bro?
So ever since I was little, I've always wanted to work in sports, right? But I didn't exactly know what that meant. When you're little, you think, oh, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer, right? You don't think, oh, I want to work in the front office of, Real Madrid or something like that, right? You don't think about that. But once I was growing up, once I started finding out about, the different teams, the sporting directors, what happens behind the scenes, that kind of got me into it. Um, and so initially I was like, well, to get a job in it's business, right? Technically, it's just in sports. I wanted to major in business in Maccombs. It didn't work out. I went into UT undeclared.
Okay.
And then, sport management was always in my mind. I want to work in sports. I want to work for a soccer team. And when I found out about sport management, I was like, oh, let me look into that. And, all the people I reached out to, they said it was a really good program. The professors there really help you out. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have entered at Austin FC, right? Because Austin FC did reach out to the College of Education and the sport management department. That's how I kind of got the introduction to the team before it even got announced, right? So I was able to help out, and that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Pinche McCollum, bro. They're hoeing, man. They don't want to bring my boy in there, bro. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. So the goal originally was like go business, but like still work in sports long term. And then
Yeah,
and then you realize with the sport management program, you're like, I could just do that like right away through here.
yeah. So when I came in undeclared, I was still like, oh, okay, well, let me just take the prerequisites that I need to go into the Macombs.
Okay.
But I saw that it was, it was pretty hard to get in. I've heard, the acceptance rate is super low once you're a student, right? Once you're not like, once if you're coming from high school, I think it's a lot easier to get in rather than being a UT student and transferring. So that was still my plan, my first semester. I was, taking the prerequisite classes, but then I just saw the sport management program. I don't even know I don't remember how I like knew about it, but
Yeah.
one day I just saw it, went in, saw the prerequisites, started taking them, and then I applied to see if I got in. So yeah.
So Subway. So what kind of stuff do you learn in the sport management program, like at undergrad and even at the level you're at now, that help you with what you do at Austin FC? Way, because we haven't caught up in a minute, bro. I don't even know like what you do at Austin FC or anything like that, bro. So yeah, what'd you learn that really helps you today, like in your role at Austin FC?
Yeah, so right now, I'm a membership service executive for the team. So basically, well, when I got hired, we didn't sell season tickets yet, right? So I was helping selling, so I was kind of on the sales team a little bit. But now that we're sold out, luckily we sold out in the middle of a pandemic.
That's wild.
But yeah,
Wow, bro. That's wild.
yeah, no, the demand's super high. It's crazy, but now that we're sold out, we're calling on the season ticket members. Just making sure that they're all set for the season. Answering their questions. We also have a really long wait list. We're also calling your wait list members as well. So that's kind of what I do, just on the service side of things.
Okay.
And as far as what I learned, so ever since when I first started, taking the classes undergrad, they always told me, in sports, 90% of the time you're going to start in sales or service. So that's kind of already like, okay, I had that in my mind. And it's been great, even though that's not where I want to be, right? Service team has been great. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. But basically in the sport management program, it's kind of a little bit of everything. It's sports marketing, strategic planning, event planning. You do cool little projects where you're starting a league. How would you do this? How would you do that? Right. And then also some deep in stuff, not necessarily business, but how to manage certain things like sociology in sports.
Yeah.
Difference between women's sports and men's sports, right? The difference in pay, those types of issues. So it's like a little bit about everything, especially about sports, and then business side as well.
Yeah, it seems like it covers like a broad range, bro, in terms of like you're covering the business side of sports as well as like just how to plan events and host events within large venues like a stadium. And then also like you said, sports psychology. Did y'all ever go into like a little bit of like kinesiology, like how the body works and different, like you said, differences between male and female sports, all that?
So not exactly. So sport management relates to like the business side, right? There's another major called physical culture and sports. That's mainly kind of what you were saying. It is under the kinesiology major. So all the classes say KIN as in kinesiology, but we don't really learn that. We did have to take like an elective, but it wasn't really what we learned. The like the core classes of the major were sport marketing, event management, strategic planning, ethics in sports, sociology in sports, so stuff like that.
Interesting, bro. That's real interesting that it's in the College of Education because it sounds so much more business related than
Yeah.
a lot of the other majors that I hear in there. That's what's up, bro. They're actually trying to do. I don't know if you're familiar with Kurt Goldsberry, but he was telling me like 2 years ago, I think, that they were trying to build a sports management or sports business program within Macombs to like be able to recruit players over here and like really improve the athletic program here at UT just from improving the business school within and providing that major. So I don't know how much progress they've made on that, but it's interesting, bro. It's definitely interesting. But yeah, dude. So Austin FC, man. So what's happening, bro? Like, what's gonna happen with the new stadium, with the team? How we looking, man? What's the inside scoop?
So yeah, I don't. They don't tell me a bunch of things,
Yeah, they
but
don't tell you too much. They
yeah,
tell
no,
you
they
to
don't.
tell us that, right? They tell you to tell us like,
No, but yeah, no, everyone's still super excited. Like I said, we sold out. The demand's super high. People are always, asking, when's the first game and all that. But with COVID, it did make it a little bit hard, right? For a lot of reasons.
yeah,
Um, the good thing is that the stadium never got delayed. Stadium's still going full force. It should be done by the time Austin FC starts playing, so that's good. The only news that we've had so far from the league is that the season's going to start April 17th, so in a few months from now. But we still don't have a schedule. We're waiting on that. Once the schedule's out, we're gonna know exactly what's gonna happen to season ticket members, waitlist members, what attendance is gonna look like, all that kind of stuff. As far as soccer ops goes, I'm not really into that. I'm on the more business side, but we're close to having a full team, I think. Claudio Reina, which is the sporting director, and Josh Wolf, the head coach, have been doing a really good job at signing the players. We have a good base of like good experienced MLS players as well as players from South America. We have we actually signed a new designated player today, Tomas Pochettino from Argentina. So now our two DPs, designated players, are Pochettino and Cecilio Dominguez.
hell yeah. Sounds like we're assembling a squad over here, man.
Yeah.
So, how much is there interaction between like the ops side of things and the business side of things, or is that really more like at the top level reporting, like to the top of the management of the team?
Yeah. So right now, because of COVID, I,
Yeah.
I really couldn't answer that question correctly because when I first started, I started working from home. We work from home. I started April of last year. So basically from April all the way to September, I think it was work from home.
Okay.
Um, After that, in October, we try to slowly go into the office a couple times a week. But just to keep things safe, Austin, it was stage 5 for a long time. So we decided to just hold it off. I've been in the office a couple times just to see if I need anything, to see, my coworkers for a few hours out of the day. But that's about it. And it was kind of divided off groups. So not the whole staff was in there one day. So a certain group would go Monday and then another group would go Tuesday. So it was kind of divided.
Oh, weird.
But yeah, in our offices right now, we were all there pre-COVID, or they were all there pre-COVID because I wasn't there. But
Yeah.
when I would go as an intern, when I would have to go visit the offices, I would see everyone there. But yeah, that's as far as I could go because
I
I
got.
was in the office a lot.
What's the office like? Wait, like where's it located or what? Like,
So the office is actually pretty close to the stadium. Um, it's like maybe a couple blocks from there. It's like how would I explain it? It's not like your own building. There's like a bunch of other companies that have their office there. I guess it's kind of a renting place right now. I know that there will be some offices in the stadium, but because of how construction's going, it's only going to be a few people there. Maybe I'm sorry, maybe just stadium ops people, the stadium ops staff. They're going to be in the stadium. Most of the staff is going to stay in that office in the meantime. It's kind of the way the office is kind of, you walk in front desk, right? There's like so pre-COVID, to kind of give you a background on it, there was like a experience center where people who wanted to buy season tickets could go in there, see the seat and all that. But with COVID, it did make it hard to have everyone out there.
Yeah.
Um, and when you walk in, you could see like a bunch of different facts of Austin FC. You know, we're the newest team, 27th team. It said facts about the league and all that. It looks pretty cool. There's like a cool like photo station that you could take. I haven't taken a picture there, but it looks super cool. And on one side is basically the ticket and sales service team, which is me. On the other side, it'd be like the partnerships, the marketing, all that kind of stuff.
Damn, bro, that's exciting, bro. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So what's the vibe, right? Like, so the MLS just got the CBA handled, right? That's why the schedules really haven't been released or anything like that because there was so much uncertainty with COVID and the CBA agreement. Or okay,
Yeah, so not that I can say too much about that, but I really don't know much about it. You know,
okay.
when the CBA stuff is just mainly between the player association, right, and the MLS commissioner. So it's kind of in their part. Luckily, it got resolved within like a week, I think.
Yeah, that's
So
quick. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that quick.
yeah, the initial start date was April 3rd, but then once they got that fixed, right, it got pushed back to April 17th. So I think that's kind of along with COVID, right? Those were the factors that maybe the schedule hasn't been out yet.
That's wild, bro. So, what's the structure of how this works, bro? Because like all over the world, there's relegation systems, but the USA has their own distinct way of running their major soccer league.
Mhm.
So, Austin FC, like, or the MLS agreed upon expansion, right? And they select, Austin as one of the cities. So at that point, like, how did it work in terms of like pooling the players and then putting like Austin FC within the same league as like FCB, Houston Dynamo, and everyone else in the league? Like, how does that work in terms of like making sure the talent level is there and ready to compete at that level? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it helps that the owner that wanted Austin FC to happen,
Okay.
he was the owner of Columbus, right? So he
Ah,
decided to have his own
okay,
team
right.
down here in Austin. It worked out. So that kind of helped too, right? The MLS commissioner came down to Austin on January 15th and officially announced it. So it's, in case you didn't know, January 15th is Austin FC Day.
Oh, shit.
Exactly how it works, I'm not too sure. I'm a huge soccer fan, but I never followed the MLS a lot.
You just
I
like
know that there's no I know that there's no like relegation and stuff. It's kind of, the MLS is the MLS playoff system, just kind of like the Mexican League is. The Mexican League actually just got rid of their relegation too, so they're kind of, their format is closer to the MLS, but it's still really, really Americanized. There's the Western Conference, Eastern Conference, there's an all-star game. So it's super, super different compared to, the rest of the world.
yeah. That's wild. Way I didn't know La Liga MX got rid of relegation. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. It's crazy. What do you know why they did that? Like, what's the reason? I
So
didn't know that.
so yeah, I have no idea. It all started since so before Tigres, Liga MX is part of the CONCACAF, right? That's their kind of confederation. So USA, Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, those countries, and then there's CONMEBOL, which is South America, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, right? And before Liga MX teams used to be invited to both the CONCACAF and the CONMEBOL tournaments. So like the CONCACAF Champions League and the Libertadores. But then 1 year, I guess the relationship broke off, or the mutual agreement where Liga MX teams weren't allowed to Libertadores anymore.
Yeah.
And then also Mexico won't participate in the Copa America anymore. Now it's only their Copa Oro, which is what they're supposed to be playing. Once that branch broke off, it but the next step was the relegation was over. At least they said it was temporary. It's not forever. I think I'm not sure the date, 2022, 2024, something like that. It was supposed to come back. But yeah, it's weird. Right now, if actually like a second division team could buy their way in basically to the Liga MX. That's what Mazatlan did. I don't know if you're familiar with the team, but they actually bought Morelia
Heard about
and
it.
just
Yeah.
changed their name. So it's super weird in Mexico right now.
That's crazy way. Yeah, I feel like soccer, you got to keep up so much more because there's so much more politics and so many more entities involved
Yeah,
as opposed to just following, like an American league as like,
yeah,
the NFL or NBA. There's so much more when you're bringing in like CONCACAF, down in South America, all the international cups, the cups between, different leagues. Like you've got Champions League over here and you're pulling from Bundesliga, EPL, La Liga. It's just so much more to keep up with, man. So who were your main teams growing up, bro? I know obviously Tigres, like that's your pride and joy, but like who else around the world growing up, way?
yeah. So Tigres, my both my family,
Yeah.
both my mom and my dad's family are from there. So from Monterrey, so that's kind of got my ties with Tigres,
Yeah.
and that's my diehard team always, no matter what.
That's
But kind of from Europe, I like to. So I'm a huge soccer fan. I want to go into soccer ops one day. So I try to learn about all the players, all the leagues, try to watch as much as I can. So I try to have like a team for every league, just so I could have an excuse to watch those games of that league. But I guess I'm a big AC Milan fan, Manchester United fan. Whenever Real Madrid and Barcelona play, I kind of edge for Real Madrid. I wouldn't say I'm a
there you go.
huge Real Madrid fan, but
You're
I
not a
root for them.
Madrista, but you'll swing that way whenever it's
Yeah,
classical. Okay.
yeah.
I respect
I'll
it. I'm a
swing.
Madrista, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll swing. I'll swing through to the Madrid side. I really like Sevilla too,
Yeah.
because of their sporting director. I really like how he operates and all that. So I also like Newell's Old Boys from Argentina. That's one of the teams I follow a lot from the Argentine league, and basically also keep up with the Libertadores. I try to watch as many games as I can because I like South American soccer or football a lot.
Damn. So what's up with them, bro? And the Argentinian team you were talking about? Because I don't keep up with Southern American soccer at all, bro. Like what are those leagues like? How different are they from like what we see elsewhere in the world?
Mhm. Yeah, so I know that I know Argentina has a weird calendar. I still haven't had a full grasp on it. I just, whenever Newell's is on, I try to watch them. But I think there is, relegation and promotion, just like, every other league in the world. So it's kind of similar, right? It's a point system
Sure.
where if you're first place, you win the league. Um, Last year was actually towards the end. I think I don't know if it was the league or they made like a separate cup and they called it the Copa Diego Armando Maradona since he passed away. They as a sign for him. But for as far as Newells, so I don't know if you know Marcelo Bielsa. He's a soccer coach. He used to coach Chile. He coached a few teams in Europe. He's not seen as a winner. He hasn't won a lot of things, but he's a really good coach. Actually, I'm wearing a sweater of him right now.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's what's up,
Um,
bro.
yeah, and he's my favorite coach. I actually follow, whatever team he coaches at the time. I follow. I try to watch as many games as I can, and their stadium is actually called Estadio Marcelo Bielsa. So that's kind of why I was like, okay, I guess I could go for Newells, and it's Newells Old Boys. I know it's like an English name. I think the story behind it was actually named by English people, from England. They came
Yeah.
down to Argentina. I don't know when, and they decided to
Okay.
create
So
Newell's
there's,
Old
there's
Boys.
some history behind it. Why is he
Yeah.
your favorite coach, bro? Like what about him speaks to you?
So, like I said, he hasn't won a lot, but his style of play, it's always to go attack no matter what. So right now he coaches Leeds United from England. They recently got promoted. He promoted them from the second
Oh
division.
shit, that's right. I did hear. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's actually I think there's an Amazon series about it, about him, how they hired him and how he brought him up. But basically, if you see the games, even if they lose 3-0, the games are good. The way he plays, the way he could convince his players it's awesome. Like the first game, the first Premier League game after a long time, right after they got promoted, was against Liverpool, the champions. Right, it was the first game of the league
Shit.
against Liverpool, the champions, and it ended
First
four
game,
three.
man.
Yeah, and it ended 4-3. Liverpool won 4-3, and all of Liverpool's goals were set pieces. It was either corner kick, free kick, or a penalty. And if you see the way it played, like they were going back and forth against Liverpool, and it was basically the same team from the second division. They didn't get a lot of big signings, so
Really? So
he's
same team that worked their way up from the second division. They're
yeah,
playing Liverpool, the defending champs, in the first game, and they only get scored on by set pieces and barely lose with
yeah,
the same roster. Essentially, that's
yeah.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and they could have tied. They even could have won, but sometimes luck's part of the game,
Oh,
right? Sometimes you get
100%.
lucky, sometimes you get unlucky.
No,
But yeah, no, Marcelo Bielsa is kind of the his philosophy and his way of looking at soccer is,
yeah,
it's unique. He kind of follows, Johan Cruyff. Johan Cruyff is kind of the guy who revolutionized soccer, kind of adopted that, and he influenced, coaches like Pochettino, Simeone, Zidane. There's videos where Zidane would go to Marcelo Bielsa's practices and ask him for tips and stuff. So I think outside of Cruyff, Bielsa is probably the most influential coach in the history. So
really, that's respect to him, bro. Respect to you for also recognizing that, even though like people try to shit on him because he hasn't won, like that he's an amazing
yeah,
coach. So you said it's more like a high pressing style of soccer, right? Like always attacking, always on the go.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
exciting, bro. I feel like a lot of that's dying. Like Liverpool plays like a more counter attacking method of style, no?
I don't really watch Liverpool a lot,
Uh,
but yeah, I mean, with players like Liverpool and Mane, if
for sure.
sometimes you can counter attack, right? But if when they're playing, the lowest teams in England, they're gonna have the ball most of the time, so they won't be able to counter attack if that makes sense. But
No,
yeah,
100%.
they're super fast paced.
Super fast paced, bro. Yeah, the game's definitely changed, bro. And I think it's interesting to see the different styles of the game. Like obviously, I don't know as much about soccer ops as you. I'm just a keeper, that likes to fuck around in the back, el chaparrito y loco. But like just seeing the different styles from you got like more, but in the center of the field, like more tiki taka type play between like Southern America and the more Hispanic communities, as opposed to kind of spreading the ball out wide and playing more
Yeah,
long balls in a more European style of play. So I think it's beautiful to see all the different cultures and different tactics and strategies within the game. You know what I mean? It's just it's the beautiful game, bro. You ever gone
yeah,
to see Tigres play in Monterrey, bro?
yeah. I have. Uh, I've probably gone to one, two, handful of games, 4 or 5 games. I've only seen them used once. We lost 2-0 at home. It was like a normal league game, so whatever. But I've gone to a Clásico against Rayados. I've gone to 2 finals. One of them, it was the first game of the final. The other one was closing, and we won against America on Christmas Day.
Against my America, shit.
And actually went to the semifinal of Libertadores like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when Mexican teams were still invited to Libertadores. We won the semifinal and went on to the final against River Plate, but I saw the semifinal. So yeah,
You've been to some epic fucking games, bro.
yeah.
What's up? You remember like any moments from those games where you just stood up and they're like, "Damn, bro, I'm out here. Like this is crazy."
Yeah, no, and well, my first one, I was a little young. I wasn't
Yeah.
super into it, but I was a Davis fan. It was actually a friendly. It was a friendly against I don't know who, and it was a super boring. It was 0-0, and I was like, it was the first time there. I was like, whoa, this is insane. But also that last game I went to, the Libertadores semifinal, that was Guignac's first game in that stadium, and it was his first goal. So I saw his first goal. I was like, no way,
Oh shit,
this is
that's what's
crazy.
up, bro. Those are epic moments, man. You remember that, dude? I've never been to Monterrey, but I've always wanted to go, bro. I hear the fucking mountains over there are just gorgeous, and like it's just a fun time, a fun city, great food, bro. So I've always wanted to go, bro. Let me know when you're trying to hit a game, bro. I'm not a Tigres fan, but I'll fucking go, pull up, we'll have a good time, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Dude,
And yeah, no, Monterrey's super cool city. When people think Mexico, they think like Mexico City. They think like super South Mexico, but Monterrey is really really Americanized. It's super north of Mexico, so it's super cool city.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. What part of Monterrey is your family from, bro? Like San Pedro or what like area?
So it's like Monterrey, Monterrey. It's
Oh,
not it's not San Pedro. It's not it's close to San Nicolas, but it's like center Monterrey. It's by this big park called Fundidora. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's like this. It's like huge park. You know, it's huge.
what's up, bro?
Um, and yeah, from Monterrey, Monterrey.
That's what's up, bro. And so then you grew up in Elia, or where did you grow up, bro? Before you came
Yeah,
over here to Austin.
yeah. I grew up in the valley, but you know,
Okay.
my both my parents are from Monterrey, so we would go before it was when it was a lot safer. We would go, you know, every weekend in Monterrey.
Sure.
So I do um I do associate myself with that city a lot. But yeah, I grew up in the valley, super South Texas, and then you know once I came up to UT in 2017 and never went back. Luckily, I got to stay up here. But yeah, Austin
You're not, you're
FC,
not trying to go back to the 956, bro.
yeah, Austin FC came in clutch for me.
There you go, bro. That's what's up. Austin's it's an exciting place to be, bro. It feels like an energy's in the city. Like it's just growing. Like for people our age to just get in here and see businesses booming and skyscrapers going up and everyone's like coming here. Like obviously traffic has always sucked and it's getting worse with everyone coming here, but
Yeah.
it's just exciting, bro. It feels like there's a lot of opportunity, bro. Like I'm from Dallas and like I'll always love Dallas, right? But Austin, bro, since I moved here a couple years ago, like it's been good to me, man. It's a fun time, as you know. So like for someone that wants to get into the sports industry like you, what do you recommend that they do, bro?
So, like I mentioned, I was an intern with Austin FC, right? And that honestly, that's what led to me having this job. And to give you a bit of background on it, so it was kind of low key. The internship with them, they reached out to UT. Luckily, it was a sport management program. Um, and this was my first interview ever for this internship. I had never worked. I had nothing on my resume, and they hired me. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna take it for granted. And basically, we had a WhatsApp group chat with a bunch of the. We were the launch team. That was what the institute was called, the launch team. And basically, we would just go out around the city for events. You know, if for example we'd be at Trail of Lights when it first started, we would have people sign up to receive emails from Austin FC, right? So it was just a matter of going out in the city, answer people's questions, you know, make sure they know that Austin FC is coming, you know, get them signed up, let them know that, you know, season tickets are going to, or deposits for season tickets are going to go on sale soon, you know, stuff like that. Just having a presence in the community. That's kind of what it was, you know, help when we had big events, we would help like set up the tents, all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like in the office work, but it did help a lot. So basically, the way it worked was there was a WhatsApp group chat of maybe 30 of us, and they would be like, okay, we have 5 events this month. We want 3 people in this one, 2 people in this one, whatever. You know, let us know who could work. And basically, whenever I could work, I would tell them, hey, I could work, I could work. You know, I was one of the handful of people that did work a lot. Not to brag, but you know,
Yeah, you
it's
put
truth.
in the
I
sweat
did work.
equity, bro. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I worked a lot of events. So basically, you know, they kind of saw like, okay, you know, Javi could have worked. So if we ever need him, we could call him, right? So there's times where I would have worked that week. So I was like, okay, you know, I did my event, and they'd be like, oh, you know, can you go to a domain bar tomorrow, Saturday morning at 6 a.m. because Tottenham plays Arsenal, right? So because a lot of soccer fans are there, so we try to have presence there too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man. But I think my advice would be to always try to work more than not what you can, but what you're willing to. So I already had work. I could have said easily no, but I was like, you know what? Let me say yes. I'm not going to do anything. It's an excuse to wake up earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I would say yes to those events. You know, they would text me on the side like, hey, you know, can you work? Can you work? Can you work? I was like, yeah, sure. So that showed them that you know I was willing to do the little stuff, right? And they told me a lot. My parents growing up, you know, little things matter. I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't honestly believe them until this happened. You know, I would do all the little things, you know, told them, yeah, I could work, no problem. You know, if you need extra hands at this event, I'll do it. And luckily, once I graduated, I was still part of the launch team. I was still working events, and I was like, hey, if anything opens up, just keep my name in mind. Let me know. Um, and one thing led to another. They already knew me. They knew that I worked all the events. I would always get there earlier. I was the last one to leave, not because I wanted to, but
Damn, bro, you
because I
sound
didn't
like
have.
the Kobe Bryant of the launch team, bro. First one in, last one out, man.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. So not because I wanted to,
Yeah,
but actually didn't have a car. So my girlfriend would have to drop me off and pick me up at every event.
worked out.
So
It worked out, way.
yeah, so
Respect, bro.
yeah, I would
Like,
have to get there. I'd have to get like, 15 minutes early because my girlfriend had to be somewhere, right? Or my girlfriend got out of work at 8 and the event ended at 7:30. So I'd have to wait there a little bit longer. Sometimes, my coworkers, I think, I don't know if you know him, Cesar and Derek. No, I don't think you know Cesar. He hung out with me in Saul, but they would also give me rides as well.
yeah,
So I depend a lot on them for rides because if it wasn't for them and my girlfriend, I wouldn't been able to work these events. But yeah, it showed them that I was willing to work, and they showed them that they could depend on me. I showed them that they could
yeah,
depend if they ever need extra hands, and I think that's the main reason why I got hired. Like I said, that's the only thing I had on my resume. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have gotten hired. So, like I said, my advice would be just to say yes, more than no. Obviously, things come up. If you can't work, you can't work, right? But let's say you're interning at the actual office, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're super free on Thursdays or something. You'd be like, hey, if you need extra hands, work on Thursday. I could work on Thursday. Or if there's a big event during the weekend, it's the weekend, right? So nobody works. You can be like, hey, I heard about the event. If you need extra hands, I'd be willing to work. Let me know if I can help out with things. So just making yourself available, and just doing the little things. Basically, they do matter.
yeah. The little things add up, man, and like you see that on the field. Whatever sport you play, the little things add up, and that's the way it is in real life too, bro. Respect to you, man. It sounds like you were crucial to like what Austin FC ended up building. Like you were on the ground talking to the community, like getting out there, making the people know that hey, this is coming. How do you feel about it? Getting that sentiment, growing the brand. Like you really put in that the sweat equity, the hard work on the ground, and that led to you getting the gig afterward, bro. So respect to you, man. Do the
Yeah,
little
no, and
things, be
and
dependable, and what was the other biggest thing you said? Like you said, do the little things, be dependable, and say yes more than you say no if you're able to.
yeah, just
No,
just
man.
always try to make yourself available no matter what, no matter the event, because sometimes I wanted to say no, but I was like, I'm not going to do anything else. And I never thought that it would lead to a full-time job. I was like, you know what? If I'll just go work, make a couple bucks,
Yeah.
and just let them know that I'm willing to work. But yeah, no. As time passed, there was a lot more people in the launch team. A lot more people did what I did. They were super helpful, and I met really cool people along the way. Hopefully they could get hired soon too. Like I said, Cesar, Derek, my friend John, who I still talk to. Some people, left Austin, right? So sometimes that's why it led to something else, or they got another job. But it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people. But yeah, I think we did a really good job, especially when the team before the team got announced and when the team barely got announced. Going out to Sunday leagues, going out to bars. Trail of Lights when it was super cold. We'd be walking around the Zilker Park. We would be like, "Hey, have you heard of Austin FC? You want to sign up to receive email?" So it was crazy at the beginning. We all I think we all did a really good job with that. So yeah.
That's what's up, bro. So at first, I remember like on UT's campus, there would be people walking around asking us to sign something, bro. Do you remember what that was? Was it like a petition to the city to like allow Austin FC to enter and build a team here? What was that?
So I'm not sure I follow. What are you
It
talking
was
about?
like it was like so you'd be walking around campus, right? And then you'd like just someone would approach you with a little like paper, like a little voucher, like
Mhm.
hey, like we're trying to build an MLS team here in the city. We want to name it Austin FC. We need if you support, can you please sign right here so we can turn this in as a petition with all the signatures to build the stadium. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
remember exactly what it was, a stadium or just to have the team, but it was something.
I think it was a team. So
Right.
to give you a little background on that too. So that was before I got hired. I got hired like 2 months before the team got announced. So it was kind of already happening. But so when the city, the people were pushing for the MLS to come to Austin, so it was called MLS to ATX, right? That was kind of the campaign
Yeah,
going.
I remember that. Yeah,
And there was, so I don't know if you're familiar with Austin Anthem, the supporter group for Austin FC. So we have two supporter groups, Austin Anthem and Los Verdes. Los Verdes branched out of Austin Anthem. So they were both technically part of this team coming. And they would, before that, they were called MLS TTX. And they would go out to city council and just be there, be like, hey, we want a team, we want a team. So I think that's what it was, just people's saying, hey, we want an MLS team. Do you want to help bring in Austin? Maybe it was that, but I'm not too familiar with that. I don't think I was part of it yet.
I got you. I got you. Well, shit, bro. Respect to you. You're living the dream. You said you always grew up wanting to work for a soccer team, and now you are, man. So, how does that feel, bro? Living the dream, like realizing, like I envisioned something and I accomplished it. Here I am.
So yeah, I always think about this. It's crazy. I still can't believe I'm working for Austin FC. Like it happened so fast. Like right out of college, I wanted to do my master's. Right. I didn't when I told them, hey, keep my name in mind in case something pops up. I wasn't thinking full-time job. I was just thinking a little bit more than what I do with the launch team, right? Something in the office or something. That's what I was thinking. I never planned on working. My mindset was I'm about to turn 20 or I'm 20. I don't want to be working at 20 when I'm going to work, for years and years.
That's my
So
life.
that, so, yeah, so I wanted to do my master's, and actually got accepted to the in-person one, to the on-campus one. And then Austin FC calls me and they tell me, oh, hey, we have the position, you could interview for it if you want. Not that you have it, but you could interview it if you want. So like, oh man, what do I do? So I talked to one of my professors, Dr. Matt Bowers. He's one of the professors for sport management. And he said, do the interview and just do the master's online later. And that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, no, if it's awesome. It all happened so fast, and I still can't believe it. I think when I was little, the way I would say it is, there's a difference between having a goal and having a dream, right? Goals, I think once you achieve that goal, it's like onto the next, onto the next, onto the next, right? And I think goals are specific, and I think dreams are like just this big idea. If you accomplish it, great. If not, it was just a dream, right? It's you're allowed to dream. And not to sound too dramatic, but it was always literally, it was my dream to work for a soccer team, and that's very broad, right? That's very broad. My goal is to, first was to get an internship, get a job with them, go into soccer ops, right? Those are my goals. My dream was to work for a soccer team, and I'm doing it. So it's kind of just it's crazy. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's not where I want to be in the future, but it's been super cool. I really, really like my job. The culture in the team, the management and everyone's super cool. Hopefully we could go back in the office soon. Even though I've already met most of them because I was an intern, I already knew a lot of people, but it's been great, honestly. Nothing but good things to say. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully I could still stay with Austin FC in the future, kind of work where I want to go, and we'll see.
That's what's up, man. I'm so happy for you, bro. I still remember that day when I went to get some gloves because my gloves were all fucked up. I went to get some new gloves at
Mhm.
one soccer shop in South Austin. I ran into you. We're like, "What's up?" And you told me the news that you were gonna start there. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. I'm so hyped for you and your career, like where you're gonna go, man. So, and you brought up a lot of good points, man. Like there's a big difference between like a dream and a goal, right? Like a goal is something attainable. You think of a specific strategy, a plan to get there. And you've
Yeah.
done that, in terms of like, I'm gonna get this internship job and eventually move into soccer ops. So how do you get into soccer ops, man? How do you get to that part of the business?
So it's gonna be hard, right? Like the soccer op is like the people who analyze the opponent, right? The
Yeah.
scouting, all that kind of stuff. In Spanish, it's called, the department I would want to work for is Inteligencia Deportiva, which is, it covers a huge array of things. They scout players that could possibly come to the club. If you want, midfielder that's at least 6 foot, that wins, 80% of their headers, or that
It's
at
coming.
least has 90% of their passes completed, right? Something like that. Analyzing that, analyzing the opponent, how to play against them, and also analyzing how your team's doing. So that's kind of what I want to do. In English, it's kind of hard to translate it. It could cover a lot of departments. So it could cover
Yeah,
scouting, it could cover team analysis, stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be
There's so
hard.
many. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like in English, I've done some research on this too. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mark Paynes, but he used to work for AC Milan. He teaches a business of sports media class at UT, and he's like
Oh,
one of the
wow.
directors for the Center for Sports Media. But I took his class and we looked over like the TV revenue model of how like sports leagues sell their rights to, the networks, then to the cable providers, and how they sell that to, like people like us, whether it's like direct to consumer or through cable, like traditionally. But anyway, so that dude, he's written a few articles about, just running soccer teams, and he talks a lot about soccer ops, how like you said, and like in Spanish it's just sports intelligence, right?
Yeah.
But in like in English terms, it's like you have so many departments within ops. You have scouting, you have in-house like analysis of like how your team's performing, how the opponents are performing. Like there's so many angles of it, right? Do you know which angle you want to be in yet, bro? Or like you just kind of open-minded to see what you're good at, what you feel?
So I kind of open-minded. Like I said, my goal was to get an internship, get a job, and then go to soccer ops, right? But that's still my goal, soccer ops, whatever that may be. Just once I'm in that department, that's going to give me uh, better leeway to move to
Yeah.
where I want to be, right? But it could, especially because it's the United States, everything's so Americanized. There's a lot of departments that you could go into. So when was it? I think last no 4 months ago, no 3 months ago, I finished a certificate that I did with Barcelona. It's a certificate in tactical analysis. So in that certificate, I learned how to analyze the opponent, what information you need to give the coach when you play them, and how to analyze your team. Are the players, doing what they're supposed to do? Are they accomplishing the goals that we've put on them, right? So that's kind of what I learned. So since I got that certificate, I am looking into that, but I'm still getting prepared to the Inteligencia Deportiva, right? The more broad, there's this program called Y Scout. I'm looking into it. I've been playing around with it to get more familiarized with it. So it's kind of hard to say, especially there's a lot of competition, especially like in the scouting department. We have, I think, his last name's Junco, but he's from Spain. So, I'm gonna be in the future, right? I don't think anytime soon, but in the future, whether it's in Austin FC or in other teams, I'm gonna be competing probably against ex-players, or competing against um, people from Spain, from Argentina, people with a lot more,
Fuck around.
not necessarily more soccer knowledge, but have more weight in the soccer world,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense, man. But I mean, you got it, bro. I mean, you've already proven you got the work ethic. You're passionate about it. Way like I feel like passion is the biggest thing too. Like that's what drives me too. Is that I love sports and it had a big impact on my life. I feel like
Mhm.
you can learn lessons from it to apply to the rest of the world, right? But like I feel like when I see you and I hear your story and I see like this is crazy, way like your LinkedIn has all these certificates from
Yeah,
Barcelona.
yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that existed, but like you show that like even in your spare time, you're always watching the game, studying it. Like it seems like it's not work to you. Like you feel like you're doing something you're passionate about anyways. So how much does that help, Way, in terms of like just doing every day and learning more?
Yeah, so right now it's been a little bit hard. Lately, I haven't been watching too much soccer, it's
Yeah.
mainly on the weekends. Mainly Tigres, just because um, I'm working from
Yeah.
8:30 to 5:30, right? And then I'm doing my master's online, which isn't super heavy, but it does take time to read, do the assignments. And then also my personal life, I wanna have time for me, maybe
Bro.
just go around, go to the domain. I live North Austin, so I'm just right here. I have my girlfriend
There you go.
with me, so I want to hang out with her too. We're both working from home though, so the good thing is that we still see each other and stuff. But
There you go.
after work, I want to hang out with her more and stuff like that. But yeah, passion is a huge thing. I think whatever you do, if you're gonna have the passion for it, I don't think it's worth doing. Um, and especially in sports, whether it's in the mailing room, whether it's on the service team, whether it's in soccer ops, whether you're just holding a sign that saying tickets are for sale here. You have to have passion for whatever sport. And I think that's one of the things that does drive me too. So like I said, the sporting director for Sevilla is kind of my role model. The technical staff or the technical director for Newell's Old Boys is kind of one of my role models too. So he kind of has a sporting director job, or helps the sporting director, sign the players, all that kind of stuff. And he says his one of his not arguments but ideas about working in his position is, first you have to have the passion for the sport. Whether you're working for your favorite team or another team, as long as you're passionate, that matters. And also keep in mind that every team's different. It's going to be different everywhere, right? You can't just
Wow.
copy one model and just do it again.
Yeah.
But that passion is what stays the same. As long as you have your passion. If you're passionate about basketball, it doesn't matter if you're working in the social media department, the ticketing department, marketing, whatever. You're working in basketball, and that should be enough.
Exactly, bro. No, I think you hit it right on the nail, bro. That's gonna be the clip right there to promote the episode. Way, gotta have that passion. Nah, but yeah, dude. No, I think that's a good point, bro. Like every team is so different, and that's what I think is kind of interesting about the ops side of sports, and also just the management side. Like people think like, oh, I can sack this coach, bring in another coach of a totally different style, and then make these players play that style. But it's like you constructed the team already to play a certain style. So I feel like a lot of teams, they struggle to like ever get competitive again, because it's like if the upper management doesn't get it, that you have to like have a certain strategy, a certain structure, culture to work, then no matter which coach you bring in, which players, it's not gonna work, right? And then the
Yeah.
other way, like you said, passion is the same wherever you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, those are some good points, man. Bro, so real quick, I'm curious, bro, just like for me, because I'm gonna get my bachelor's of business administration this May. I'm trying to work in sports, right? But I think the master's of sports management is interesting, bro. So like, how has that been for you? Like, what's the process to get accepted into that program? Like what's it like, bro?
Yeah, so I think one of the prereqs to be or to apply or to be admitted is obviously the GRE, right? That you have to take, and then I think you have to work 1 year related to sports. You have to have 1 year work experience. I think that was one of them. Not too sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's been great. It is. I have this first class I'm taking. I do remember some stuff that I learned undergrad, but it goes a lot more deeper. Since it's online, it's a lot more flexible. So it's 2 classes 1 semester, but you only take 1 class at a time. So it's divided into two.
I
So
see.
one half of the semester it's one class, second half is another one. And it's been really really cool. Just I guess because I was undergrad with them too. The professors are super cool,
Yeah.
super nice people.
Oh, yeah.
They helped me out a lot to where I am right now. So I do appreciate the professors and the sport management program.
Yeah.
But yeah, my idea was always to get educated because, like I said, where I want to go, I'm gonna compete against ex players, against people with a lot of weight. So the only thing I could have in my side is education. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get as educated as I can, and 2 more years of school is not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna learn more and just get more prepared.
And I think it's like you said earlier, right? Like we have our whole lives ahead of us. Like 2 years of school for the amount of advantage it's going to give you for what you're trying to do. It's worth it if you're going to be working for so many years afterward, bro. So the GRE, shit, man. I hate tests. That doesn't sound fun. Wait, how was it like preparing for that? Did you go real hard on it, or you just went in and took it?
So the crazy thing is, I didn't study super hard the first time, but I studied. I studied a good amount. Um, Actually didn't get the score I needed, so I needed to take it again. So another $200 I had to pay. So it's 200 a test. Um, and luckily, I was like, you know what? Let me just do it as soon as I can. I did it like within the next month and a half. I studied a little bit. I didn't even study a lot. The second time I studied a little bit, just went over the book again, and I got the score. I got the score I needed. So, but it's cool because you get the score right away. You get the score right after the exam. It's computer based, so it's on the computer. But it is hard. It's tough. You know, so some of those words, you know, like the fill in the blank in the sentences. I was like, what are you? I don't even know how to pronounce these words. I'm like, it was tough, but I think that the book did really help though. It did help a lot, but yeah, and then also you get breaks in between, optional breaks. Take them. So the first time I took the test, I didn't take a break. I was like, no, let me just do it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, let me just do it. I'm probably gonna pass it. You know, it's whatever. I didn't get the score I needed. So the next time I was like, I even bought a Milky Way right before the exam. I went in. I was like, okay, let me take a break. Let me eat my Milky Way. Came back, and then luckily I got the score.
Orale, bro. You're a walking commercial, man. Over here advertising Milky Way.
I know they sent me a
Dude,
check.
yeah, yeah. I'll put that in the YouTube. Like, hey, his info's right here. Send him that check, Milky Way. Free advertising right here. Um, dang, bro, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, bro. Because like I said, I want to work in sports and in conversations with a couple different companies like ESPN and Bleacher Report and some others. But we'll see, bro. We'll see what the future holds. So online, you said it's manageable. Like if you're working full time, do you know how it works? Like, so online, what is it? A 2 year program?
2 year program. It's 2 years because you can take classes during the summer.
Gotcha.
Um, so they recommend 2 classes each semester. So if it's 10 classes in total. So if you don't take classes in the summer, it'll be a little bit over 2 years. It'll be 5 semesters. So 2 years and a half. But if you take summer classes, you could finish it in a year and a half or the full 2 years.
That's what's up, bro. So is there an in-person one as well where it's like you go full time or something like that if you're not
Yeah,
working? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's full time. It's in person. Um, I'm guessing it's like 3 classes a semester, and that one's, 3 classes at once. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but the online ones, the format, especially if you're working, it is really helpful.
Yeah. Shit, bro. Well, respect to you, man. Doing a master's and working full time. That's what's up, bro. You're grinding, bro. Hopefully some people get inspired, bro. I know you inspired me to get on this grind in the sports world, Javi, but you have time for like a 5 minute little rapid fire, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm scared, but go for it.
All right, bro. We're just gonna try and knock them out quick, bro. Who's the goat of soccer?
From what I've seen, Messi.
From what you see, Messi. So Messi over Ronaldo, even though you
Yes.
like to root for Madrid when they
Oh
play.
yeah, Messi.
Okay.
Sure.
Any reasoning behind that?
Just I don't know. I mean, older people will be like, "Oh, Maradona, Pelé," right? But I didn't see him play, so I can't make that
Yeah,
distinction.
that
But
is
Messi over
true.
Ronaldo, just because, I mean, not to say Ronaldo's bad or anything. He's insane. He's going to be top five, top six
Absolutely.
players ever. But yeah, no, Messi, what he can do, no one else can do. You need a free kick, he's going to do it. You need an assist, he's going to do it. You need to create a play, he's going to do it. You need to score a goal, he's going to do it. He controls Barcelona. When he wants to attack, the team attacks. When he says, "Okay, slow it down," the team's going to slow down.
That
He
is true.
he controls, almost, he probably controls every aspect of the game. So that's the main difference between him and Ronaldo, in my opinion. But obviously, Ronaldo as a number 9, as a goal scorer, I think he is better. When it comes to stats and on paper. But I think in the end, Messi's gonna come out on top on paper as well. So
Yeah.
I'll stick with Messi always.
Gonna be an interesting debate for many years to come, man. We just gotta
Yeah.
enjoy viewing them these last few years, while they're still playing, because we'll probably never see two goats in the same era like that again, bro. I've always
Yeah.
been more on the side of Ronaldo as the goat, just because I'm Madrista and I'm just a big Ronaldo fan. But I will say he has like superior athleticism. So
Yeah.
what Messi does on the field is far more impressive to me sometimes, because like it's like you can't explain it. It's just the
Yeah.
way he moves with the ball. Just he's such a smart and skilled player. It's crazy, bro. It's like you just like despite what you see on paper, like just the eye test, it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy, bro. So
Yeah. Like Ronaldo, when you watch Ronaldo, you want to see him score, right? You're like, oh, I saw Ronaldo score. But when you see Messi play, you could just say, I was able to see Messi play. You know what I mean? He Messi doesn't need a goal to have a good game. Sometimes Ronaldo doesn't need a goal to have a good game, but most of the time, if he doesn't score, it means he had a bad game. So I think that's another uh, argument that I would have.
yeah, yeah. The other thing is with sports medicine these days, I mean, we're seeing it across every sport, like Tom Brady, LeBron James,
Oh
Ronaldo.
yeah.
See, they're gonna last a while. So I'm hyped to see that. All right, bro. On to the next one. Who's the best Mexican team in history? Liga MX.
The
Who is the
biggest
best
team,
franchise? The best
yes,
franchise in history.
America. There's only one, and it's America. I don't believe that the Cuatro Grandes, the biggest four, which is
Yeah.
America, Chivas, Puma, Cruz Azul. I don't believe in that. Chivas is not relevant as they used to be. They still have 11 titles. They're still Chivas, but if you're not competing for the title every season, what are you doing? Recently for the past 10 years, Tigres has been competing. So a lot of people say, oh no, it's just your time, it's gonna pass. But you can't just depend on the past. America, the only thing is that America is always competing. They might have that one tournament where they don't make it, or one tournament where they lose in quarterfinals, but they're always there,
They're
no
always,
matter what.
they're always hanging around. That's true. That's a big difference with Chivas because even like you said in recent years, it's like they haven't been doing nothing. Despite one of the biggest fan bases, it's like get out of here, you bandwagons. But dude, Tigres, bro, like within Texas, they've developed a really strong like youth program, bro. Like in Dallas, it's huge. The Tigres
Really?
program, like they're playing at the highest levels of academy and club in Dallas, bro. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I think they got a good thing going. But yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I grew up America, a fan of America because of Ochoa. Obviously,
Mhm.
me being a goalie, Ochoa was my guy, and Buffon over there in Juventus and Tim Howard. There was a couple that were really big to me, but Ochoa, man, I mean, this is
Yeah.
what you would do. I had to root for America. But moving on to the next one, bro. What's your best moment on the soccer field, bro? Like your best play, your best score. What's the one you remember?
My best goal. I'd go with my best goal. So this is gonna go. So I mean, I scored pretty cool goals, and
Yeah.
I scored very few goals in high school actually. But in middle school, I just remember this vividly. Like I still picture it in my head. So I was on A team. There's A team, B team. I was on the A team, and we lost against our rival school,
Okay.
and that was the last game of the season. So the next game, the next day, that's when B team plays. We played Thursdays, they played Fridays or something like that. And B team was gonna go, and our B team I remember wasn't super good, right? At a B team level.
Okay.
So us A team were like, hey, let's play with you guys. So we're like, okay, everyone was on board, the coach was on board. So we played A team and B team since it was the last game of the season, so whatever. And I remember I didn't mean to do it. It was just kind of happened. It was bouncing in the midfield. I got it. It was still bouncing. I was little, so I didn't know how to like control the ball super good.
Sure.
And it was just bouncing, and I didn't even look at anyone. I didn't see the goalie, anything. I just kicked it as hard as I could,
Yeah.
and I scored from like half field.
Shit.
And I still remember how like it dipped and everything. I didn't even mean to do it, but it was super cool.
So you volleyed it, like it's still in the air. You just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna boot this bitch," and it
Yeah,
fell into the goal. Jesus, bro, did you have the wind going on your back or what? Like,
I honestly don't remember, but I remember that we didn't even celebrate it like it was a big thing. Like no one, I was just like, oh, okay, and then I just ran back to the midfield.
yeah,
It was crazy, but I
it's
still
just part
remember
of
that
the
goal.
program. That's just what I do. Nothing
Yeah,
here.
no, but it's kind of those things where I sometimes still think about like how did I do that? I was like,
Yeah.
I was like 13. I didn't even think about doing it. 12 years old. I just
Dude, that's wild, bro.
so yeah.
Sometimes you just hit it right, bro. Like your hips are lined up and you just hit it
Yeah.
line drive, bro. When in high school, when I was playing keeper, I had the wind on my side, right? But I made a save and I punted the ball I punted it straight forward so the wind could carry it, bro. It bounced at the top of the 18, at the top of the goal box and hit the post, bro.
No way.
I still think about that. If I would have scored off of the punt, bro. But yeah, dude, nah. That's
That would
what's
have been crazy.
going from half field. Shit, way. So, what are the three things that someone working in sports has to have, especially working in soccer ops, which is where you want to go?
So yeah, it kind of be so soccer ops, and that could be translated to baseball, basketball, right? Like the analytics team, scouting team in baseball, right? First, I think passion, right? Passion is the biggest one. Um, and second one, I think for not just soccer ops, but everything in general, just not necessarily being the first one there, being the last one to leave, right? Not that, but just working hard, actually, putting in the work sometimes, there's going to be days where you're going to have a chill day, right? Where there's not a lot of stuff to do. There are going to be days where, you're going to have to get this done. And me is just kind of like the way I am. I don't like to have things pending. I try to like, I don't want to say OCD because I don't have OCD, but if I need to do something, I want to do it. Right. So just putting in the hard work when you need to. And I guess number three would be just like I said, if you're barely starting or if you're 15 years in the business, I think the big thing would be to make yourself available to others. Make sure that if you're the supervisor, well, not obviously, right? But if you have a supervisor, make sure that they know they can depend on you if they need to do something. So I think those would be my top three.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey,
Yeah,
Javi, well, it was nice talking with you, bro. Thank you for
yeah, for
doing
sure.
this. And yeah, man, I know you're gonna kill it in your career, bro. I'm hyped to see what you do, and hopefully, I'll be right there in the sports industry, right beside you, bro. We can make some big moves.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you for thinking of me. First of
Hell
all,
yeah, bro.
for this, it was great talking with you too and catching up. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
hopefully things work out for you and you could go wherever you want to go.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
Don't be such a smart aleck.